We're all familiar by now with the concept of virtual recitals, but this semester's vocal and instrumental ensembles concert begs the question, how do groups rehearse during a pandemic?
You don't. So that's a great question. Really easy to answer. You don't. So, what we had to do was, honestly, was to just sort of be as creative as possible. So, in terms of practicing with an ensemble, what I did, I made tracks for them. So what I did for I can only speak for my ensemble, and I know I talked a little bit to Professor Locasio about what he did with his, so I know that some of our the ways that we did it were a little similar. But what I would do is, you can hear my piano here, my MIDI keyboard, and so what I would do is I would actually input all of the parts to make a skeleton for the ensemble, right? And then what I would do is I would send out various tracks for them to basically play in their headphones, right, while they played into their computer. And so what I would get from them would be their stems, right? And so stems in the world of audio is just basically only your part, right? So say I'd send the bass player a track for a tune, right, that had the form, meaning like when does the chorus play and when does the verse play and all that kind of stuff, all figured out for him already, and he has it on a sheet. And then or she, because we do have some females in there, so they would figure it out and they would look at it, and say I send it to the bass player, I would send him a track that doesn't have the bass track in it, right? So it'd have every other part except for the bass in it, and then he'd have his little sheet to read, and so he would count off while he's recording, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, and then he would wait until he's supposed to come in, and then he would just simply play his upright bass or electric bass part, and then he would output that stem to me, and then I would get it and I would assemble it in my my Logic Studio. And in the case of the video that you're going to see on this concert, I asked them to do the same exact thing, except to record themselves with like their iPhone or their smartphone, whatever they have, and then send me the stem for their recording along with the stem, or along with the video from their iPhone. And then once I got that, I would put them into the computer and use a program that thankfully HCC has a license for called Adobe Premiere Pro. And then I would just edit it. It takes forever to edit it. It probably took me 15-20 hours to get all of that done and learn the program totally. So but it was great. It's totally worth it because they love it.
For HCC Beat, this is Randall Williams.